Our top story, well, in a major escalation, Russia has exited the Black Sea grain deal. Now it's targeting Ukrainian port cities. It has also warned that ships crossing the Black Sea ports will be treated as carrying military cargo. In Mykolaiv, at least 9 people were injured as Russia attacked the Odessa port for a third consecutive night. The EU has warned over its larger implications on the global food supply.
It is the third night that massive aerial attacks against Odessa port and infrastructure is causing not only civilian casualties, but a big destruction of the grain storage there. This is a barbarian attitude which will be taken into consideration by the Council today on the talk with Kuleba. We will have more information, but what we already know is that this is going to create a huge food crisis in the world.
Now, Kyiv accused Moscow of carrying out hellish overnight strikes that damaged grain export infrastructure in Odessa. Kyiv said Moscow had destroyed 60,000 tons of grain meant for export after accusing Moscow of purposely hitting grain terminals. And also Russia said its armed forces carried out a group strike with long-range precision-guided air-launched weapons against military-industrial facilities, infrastructure for fuel and ammunition depots of the Ukrainian armed forces. Moscow also claimed a mass revenge strike after an attack damaged its bridge to Crimea, the peninsula it seized from Ukraine in 2014. Crucially, the port of Odessa is connected to over 600 ports in more than 100 countries. France and Germany have also condemned the attack on the Ukrainian cities. The Black Sea grain deal allowed Ukraine to safely export grains from 3 Ukrainian ports amid the war. Turkey, United Nations and Ukraine monitored the path of vessels transporting grains. The vessels were then allowed to cross the Black Sea towards the Turkey-Bosphorus Strait. Remember, the Black Sea is heavily mined by both the Ukrainian and the Russian forces, but Russia refuses to extend the deal without better terms for its own food and fertilizer sales.
Мы вновь и вновь продлевали эту сделку, и продлевая, проявляли просто чудеса выдержки и терпения, толерантности. Рассчитывали, что наши зарубежные коллеги наконец начнут в полном объеме соблюдать согласованные и одобренные параметры и условия. Однако ничего подобного.
Russia has now said that ships traveling to Ukrainian ports on the Black Sea will be considered carriers of military equipment. Going a step further, Moscow added that it would consider countries of such ships as a party to the Ukrainian conflict and is willing to use force to impose the blockade in the route. Reacting to the development, Washington says Moscow could attack civilian shipping routes. It also says Russia is releasing new mines into the sea. The United States says this poses a threat to food security of the world's poorest people. You see, often dubbed as Europe's breadbasket, Ukraine is one of the world's major producer of grains and oilseeds. It contributes 10% to the global share of wheat exports and almost half of the world's sunflower oil. One thing to note here is that almost 90% of Ukraine's grain exports leave from the Black Sea port. How is this impacting the food prices globally? Well, Chicago wheat futures, a key barometer for global prices, jumped more than 4% after Russia's move. Wheat prices on the European Stock Exchange soared by 8.2% on Wednesday. Prices of corn and soybean are also on the rise. The consequences the step could be grave. Most food insecure countries like Afghanistan, Yemen, Ethiopia, Somalia receive wheat from Ukraine through the World Food Programme initiative. In fact, Ukraine provides more than half of the World Food Programme's wheat grains last year as well.